punishing pensioners and taking away school meals from our children.
Shut up!
Tax cuts for the Conservatives' big business friends.
Shut up!
More food banks, more homeless people.
Shut
There
up!
is a social crisis looming in Britain. This government's proposing to reduce it further and actually hand roughly £60 billion over to corporations and in tax relief at the top end. Instead of doing that, we should be asking the very, very wealthiest to pay a bit more. The alternative is what? More food banks, more homeless people, more people on housing waiting lists, more queues in our hospitals, more than 1 million people already waiting for social
that would
care.
like to keep us all down. I want us to go up. He likes misery. He wallows in it. They all do. They all pretend that it's left-wingism is offering us great opportunity. For what? The same old dismalness. I want to see things improved, made better. Faster trains, better buses, better housing. Not the same, you know, because that takes us back to this, doesn't it?
So you don't understand the Jeremy Corbyn?
No, because he'd have us all still in those places. That's his offer.
Let me understand then, how much will it cost to provide unmeans-tested childcare for 1.3 million children?
It will cost... It will obviously cost a lot to do so. We accept that.
I presume you have the figures.
Yes, I do. It does cost a lot to do it. The point I'm trying to make is that we're making it universal so that we are in a position to make sure that every child gets it, and those that can, at the moment, get free places will continue to get them. Those that have to pay won't, and we'll collect the money through taxation, mainly through corporate taxation.
So how much will it cost?
I'll give you the figure in a moment.
You don't know it? You're logging into your iPad here. You've announced a major policy and you don't know how much it will cost?
Can I give you the exact figure in a moment,
Is
please?
this not exactly the issue with people and the Labour Party, which came up under Gordon Brown, that we cannot trust you with our money?
Not at all. All our
You don't know the figure.
all of our manifesto is fully costed and examined. And
But you're holding a manifesto, you're flicking through it, you've got an iPad there, you've had a phone call while we're in here, and you don't know how much it's going to cost.
Can we come back to that in a moment?
What, when you've looked it
Well,
up?
look,
my point is...
So how much would
it's quite
10,000
troubling.
police
This
officers
is a
cost?
policy you're launching
Well,
today, Mr Corbyn, and you don't know how much it's going to cost.
If we recruit the 10,000
Hardly
police
inspires the voters.
men and women
I think what is
over
important
a
for
4-year
the
period,
voters to
we
understand-
believe it'll be about £300,000.
£300,000 for
Sorry,
10,000 police officers? What are you paying them?
No, I mean, sorry,
How much will they cost?
about £80 million.
About £80 million.
Yeah.
Right. How do you get to that figure? 80 million divided by 10,000 equals 8,000. So, what are these police officers going to be paid?
We will be paying them the average...
Has this been thought through?
Of course it's been thought through.
We trust politicians, and we shouldn't. We never used to. They're talentless leeches and parasites.
Well, all politicians are the same.
All of them, yeah, to me. It doesn't matter what party they think they're representing. They are still misrepresenting us. They are basically people who wouldn't have an occupation anywhere else.
It's a large figure that Labour has put on that extra 2,000. How much is that, and where would that money come from?
Well, what we've said is we would find the money to recruit the 10,000 police people by we would find the money because we'd look at capital gains tax. The Tories have cut capital gains tax and we want to restore it. And that would give us, I think, 170... We would find the money.
I've come to this central London mansion that's been occupied by a group of anti-fascist anarchists, known as the Autonomous Nation of Anarchist Libertarians, or ANAL for short.
I mean, anarchists are people who actually try to live their principles, who say, like, not only do we want to think about that it would be nice to have a free society, not only do we want to actually start moving towards a free society, but we want to move toward a free society in a way that is consistent with the society we want to create. We want to actually create as much as possible, live as if we are free right now. And that is the most effective form of resistance against tyranny.
Stand. Stand for Parliament. If you're going to campaign, then stand. Okay? Okay, you have the media profile for it. Do it.
My problem would be, mate, I'd stand for Parliament, but I'd be scared that I'd become one of them.
One of the founders of Anal was Tom Palmer.
I, as a founder member of Anal have taken some big buildings in the centre of London, mainly to highlight capitalism rather than the housing crisis. It's about basically the struggle between what they say we've got a democracy in the UK, but like there's always this parallel structure of power, which is the secret services, which, like, although they infiltrate at this level, they're also at the level of like the Parliamentary Labour Party. Like, there used to be the KGB in there, but we've got our people in there as well. And sort of higher up to the higher echelons of business and stuff, like the crony capitalism. And this sort of parallel sort of security services thing, it goes into the music industry, the media, those networks, like they include like networks like the Alcoholics Anonymous network. They're like sort of spy networks or are infiltrated in their own right.
I first met some of the Anal crew during filming a documentary, as they attempted to create their own breakaway autonomous nation by occupying a housing estate in North London.
As well, you can see our flag up there. This is an independent state at the moment. We've declared independence on the 7th of July from the United Kingdom government.
This is the group's first occupation since Tom Palmer's sudden and unexplained death in August 2016. Otherwise known as Agent Kingfisher, some of the anarchists believe he was a targeted individual and his death was due to his work exposing the secret state. Lying empty, this £15 million Eaton Square mansion is owned by Russian oligarch Andrei Goncharenko. The occupation is to highlight the injustice of so many empty buildings as homelessness rises.
Like, nobody asks questions in the London real estate market. You can take money from anything. Just launder it by buying up something like this and selling it. So this is all just money laundering schemes for stolen money from that should have been going to provide public amenities to people in other countries. So the very least we could do is to try to provide public amenities to people here. And to people who came from other countries because there are amenities there, these people like that took it away.
But let's also look at instability and problems around the world and tackle the causes of war, the greed for natural resources, the denial of human rights, the irrational imprisonment of political opponents. Let's look to build a world of human rights, peace, justice and democracy all over the planet.
I just think coming together as a kind of the camaraderie that we have on the left, it smashes anything else, because there's people that have united and they're together under one banner. And I mean, you asked me why I became a Marxist-Leninist. That's a lot. There's a lot to go through, because it's events from my life that are basically, because we're all products of our environment. So we adapt with change. Now that's the whole idea of how we've evolved to this point where we've built these kind of cities. And I just think it's the next step forward for basically socialism and then the end goal of communism. And that's it really, so yeah.
I was saying, like, yeah, but really, all communism is a sort of a version of Christianity, in that it's saying we are all brothers here and all of us have rights, and we should be trying to build a society where we love each other. That's sort of what it's saying. Where it goes wrong is it doesn't allow room for individualism and the myriad distinctions between different human beings. But I won't concentrate on that bit.
But that's not really...
I'm not going to stand on someone else for their views. I think that it's important to take different points into perspective. That's how we get the best thing for everyone. That is how the spectrum works, is when it fills out into the middle, then we find a kind of common ground. As much as some of the people I know might crucify me for this. But yeah, I think that's the way forward for humanity to evolve into the next level of society, basically.
Palestine will be free! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free!
Now, when ideology and theory and practice are obviously very two different things, and Marxist-Leninists really, because the problems that go around in society with regards to capitalism, I think, it's very easy for people like this to channel their ignorance into the masses, and it works for the benefit of the upper class more than anyone else. Yeah, they're the foot soldiers of the upper class, and what they try and do is they try and undermine society, because it's divide and conquer tactics. So you've got the people, the elites, they want them to come out today. We're coming here to show our faces and oppose them, and that's why so many people of us are here today, united as one together.
How's the class war going?
It's going really well. It's going great. I've been canvassing around Soho and causing lots of trouble, basically, getting out on the street, because it's been super gentrified. Like yes, a lot of London, really. A lot of money's come in and tied it all up, and lots of people have had to move off and get out of town if they've not got the dough, if they're a certain class. So that's, yeah, that's my angle on it, because I am working class and I'm here to represent the working class, and sure. Now talking about class, and I don't think that, I mean, Labour don't ever talk about working class. That's the thing. If you're working class, the best that you can do is become middle class. That's the thing. So so yeah, I mean, I embrace working class culture, and I think that we're great, and I own it.
Now, it's not just elections you believe in. On the website, on Class War website, you say, we no way see the election as an alternative to direct action. By the brick and the ballot box. Or do you want a violent revolution?
Well, yeah, why not? I mean, I don't want to go around like hitting people and hurting people, but I think that the way things are, I don't see how you could have a revolution without violence before you reach some sort of hippie utopia eventually. I don't know.
Where do you think that's worked? What violent revolutions
I mean, everyone goes, oh, Gandhi, he was a pacifist, but he wasn't. He was into violence before he became a pacifist, you know, a long time after. So,
but that was a liberation struggle. Where has a class-based violent revolution worked?
Well, maybe it will work in the future. Maybe it hasn't worked in the past. But
what's the guys wearing masks? Can I say, and yourself included? What's with it? It's a bit of a
comment. No comment, mate.
It's a bit of a look.
Yeah, nice, isn't it? Sexy, isn't it? Boris Johnson is a
Well, a bit of a dick though, mate, aren't you, as well? It don't help, do you know what I mean?
Well, I'm fair to say it's abuse.
Coming along, giving it all that, you know, fucking posh twat with a bald head coming here and filming everybody. It's, you know...
They really do love to divide us. That's how they conquer us.
War is one thing, but in my opinion, like atomic holocaust would be like an antibiotic treatment compared to every day with this system that we're living in. Every day of this business as usual can lead up to like 9 years and we start going extinct.